Hey guys, how's it going? This is the Hour Spark. We are here today with another ship build guide. Today I am here in the Federal Corvette with an AX Science vessel. What's nice is this AX Science vessel is equipped to deal with Thargoid fights and also being used for scientific purposes around the Spires, Titans, and whatever else you may need it to in the future. There has been a big narrative around the Thargoids as of lately inside of Elite Dangerous, and I realize that sadly my crates are doing alright, but I need something bigger with a lot more utility mounts, internals, and just guns. So let's dig into it and let's go over this build. So when I was making this, I realized that I had to do a number of jobs and had to pack it into one ship. So it's going to seem kind of messy probably going over this build, but we're just going to go over it one step at a time. Unfortunately, it seems like recently FDev has had a thing where the Thargoids have been able to kill modules, especially Guardian modules in particular. So we've had to resort back to using human weapons, which they're alright. I still prefer the Guardian weapons because it adds a bit of flavor, utility, and also just sound effects, because it seems like the Guardian weapons just have some amazing sound effects, but the enhanced multi-cannons will do a pretty good job. We're using 3 larges on the Vette. What sucks is they don't have any huges, so we are having to use large weapons on huge points, but it's still good DPS. They don't take a lot of distro draw, and they do seem to do a pretty good job against the Thargoids, especially the scouts and the orthoses, which is what I've been using to ship a lot around the spires to earn some extra cash. Very handy to have. We're using a 2D long range 5 with thermal vent beam laser. Very handy to keep yourself cool, yourself off of radar. It really helps to also just keep the Thargoids off their sensors, because if you can stay cool, especially below the 20% threshold, they basically ignore you and don't even notice you, so it's very handy. I have some enhanced AX missile racks to deal some extra pierce damage and some damage overall. Very handy to have, sadly very limited to ammo, as you guys can see. We only have 8 in the clip and 64 on the side, but luckily they do have a pretty good shot speed considering they are missiles. 60 piercing isn't bad. I believe the multi-cannons won't tell me how much piercing they have, but I'm sure you guys can see on Etsy or Coriolis. I don't even know if Coriolis has these, so you might have to check on Etsy, actually. But yeah, it's there. And then I have a 1E beam laser with long range 5 with regeneration sequence to help repair any allies I need to with their shields. Very handy to have. You can opt this in for whatever you really need to. You can put it in for coordinates, which I actually have one here. Long range 5 with concordance sequence to also help with shield regen. This ship is meant to be a very big support vessel. It's also meant to brawl. It's meant to just get in there and fight. It's meant to be in there and support. Whatever you really need it to do, it is set up and ready to do it. And I think that's what makes this build absolutely amazing, in my opinion. It is big, slow, and lumbering, so you do have to be kind of good with the flight stick in order to really start dodging some stuff, but you are a big ship, so you really do need to tank it, though. For the utility mounts, we have quite a selection of utility stuff. So we do have a heatsink launcher, the pre-engineered one, so we have extra ammo on it. We also have a caustic, we actually have 2 caustic launchers, because you will be getting hit by caustic quite a bit, especially in this ship. And what's nice is the caustic launchers will eat the caustic. You just have to jettison whenever it's full, and you will take basically no damage. These things are an absolute game changer, especially going through the Cloud and the Titan, or just dealing with any sort of caustic. It's just absolutely amazing. Just be careful, don't get behind orthoses. They will fill up very fast. And then we have a pulse wave Xeno scanner. I believe those are used to find stuff on the Titan or something like that. So that's there as well. You can opt this in for a shield booster or another heatsink launcher, however you wish to put that in there. Then we have the Thargoid pulse neutralizer. This is the, I believe, advanced one, which only does you, but there is one that does a 3-kilometer range to help your allies. Very handy to have. either way, they are handy to keep you from being shut down whenever they do launch their shutdown field neutralizer. And with this being just an AX ship, what's nice is we can just dump heavy duty boosters on because they just do strict absolute. So we have a OA shield booster here with heavy duty grade 5 with super capacitor. And then we have 2 OBs with heavy duty 5 with super cap as well to get those megajoules up nice and high. It is not the highest megajoule stack for a Vette, but it doesn't have to be. It just has to be able to tank it and have a good shield cell banks, I think, in my opinion, in order to keep it healthy. So we're running a military grade composite with grade 5 deep plating. As I said, they do strictly absolutes, just getting the most hull health as possible is the best. We have a low emissions floor with a monster power plant. You want to stay as cool as possible, especially in the Titan, so you don't draw attention. The ship sits about 19% when flying. So you just want to be careful with that. You might have to turn your shields off and run silent running and just keep replenishing your heat sinks as you're in the Titan or whatever you're doing. There's many methods to this madness you can do. That's what the beam laser's for as well. I'm also running a 7B thruster with dirty drive tuning drag. If you're wondering why I went with a B-class thruster, it is 1, so it's less power draw, and 2, it is actually cheaper on the rebuy in case you do die. AX ships are constantly dying out there in the field, and getting cheap modules on there could really help. Also, I found the A to not be that much different, and also Bs have very high integrity compared to their A-class. So nice in case you lose your shields and they start shooting the rear end of your ship. What's nice is this is a very cheap rebuy considering it is a Vette, so just take that in consideration. Then we have a 6A frame shift drive with increased range. It's supposed to be 5, but I actually have it at 4. I need to go get that fixed. And yeah, with Mass Manager, so you can jump that extra distance. It is not a very great jumping ship. The Vette has the second worst jump range in the game. But it is what it is, unfortunately. Then we have a 5A life support with lightweight 5. It's supposed to be lightweight 5. Or that's actually reinforcement 4. So you can get the integrity up. Thargoids love to go for your life support. I am not sure why, so that's why I grade 5 or put it up to grade 4. I don't think they're going to be destroying that anytime soon, hopefully, but yeah. I also went with an 8B distributor for the same reason why I went with the 7B thrusters, is to save on power and also to cut down on the rebuy cost. Plus, the distributor has much higher integrity as well with 180 hit points. But it has Charge Enhanced 5 with Super Conduit, so always still classic to go. And then we went with an 8A sensor with long range 5, just so we could see really far away for those Thargoids. The Orthoses run very cool, so it's best to try to keep them on sensors as much as possible. And then we have our standard 32-ton fuel tank as well. For our optionals, we are running a very similar build as what I would run on my prismatic PvP build. I'm sure you guys have seen it on my channel. So instead of going with a Prismo, I went with a Bioweave to save on power and also money as well. This is a very cost-efficient ship because I realize that people are probably still going to die in this ship because that's just how AX usually goes. But it has Reinforced 5 with low draw. You might be wondering why not Thermal Res or Fast Charge. Well, I went with Reinforced because, as I said, these Thargoids still just do absolute damage. And it doesn't really hurt the repair and recharge that much. And the low draw really helps to not put so much stress on the distro. And it also helps cut on the power plant too. It takes at least 5% off of it, which is very handy, so you can get a little bit more wiggle room. You will probably need to turn at least 2 to 3 banks off though while using this ship, but that should be absolutely fine. Because all the banks are going to be using Specialized 4 with flow control to save on power and also not cause you to get heat up as much. Sadly, it's very difficult to heat up in the ship to burn caustic, but you do have those caustic heat launchers, so really don't need to burn it off unless you accidentally did an oopsie. But yeah, they are there to keep you very healthy. I went with 7Bs as well to cut down on the power draw, increase integrity, and also to just increase the overall megajoules that you can get from the kill cell banks, because B class do have a little bit higher than A class, but they do weigh a bit more. And then I went with a I went with three 5D hull reinforcement packages with deep plating. You got to get that hull health up as much as you can. I will be putting a link down below of this build, so don't worry, guys. And I also do have a 5B fuel scoop in order to scoop near the stars as I'm jumping to the Titans or wherever I need to for AX, because there are probably going to be no stations around to refuel you. So best to fuel up at the star while you can. I've also opted in for a 4G vehicle hangar to go out and explore the spires as well, or do whatever I need to at a Guardian site to get it mats or just to study stuff as well. And then we went with a 4E anti-corrosive cargo rack as well, just in case you pick up any corrosive cargo while out exploring or while at the spires. There's always caustic stuff there to pick up. And then I went with a 3B Xeno Limpet controller to get rid of decomp, repair a little bit, and do research as well. There's also the collector Limpet as well to pick up any mats as well. Also, what's nice about the 7 slots too is you can pull a bank off and put a 7A repair limpet to help repair your allies in fights or you as well. I usually stuff my cargo hold full of limpets to help repair or decon my friends as well. As I said, this offers a lot of support, a lot of utility to what you can do on the ship, so you will need to bind a lot of things to your fire group. So just a heads up. But yeah, that covers it for the build. If you have any questions or concerns, feel free to comment down below, and please tell me down below what you're using for a scientific vessel and what you have it on as well. I've been enjoying going out and seeing how all these new Thargoid mechanics and interactions work. The spire sites are very interesting because you can land up top of them and look around. I've had fun doing a lot of my stuff in the Vette because it's a very fun ship to fly, and it's always very reliable. And it, as I said, it offers a lot of utility on the battlefield. But yeah, that's be it for today, guys. Let me know down below what you think of it. Have a good one. Bye.